where we left off, Alviva agreed to join the Star Wardens, got high with you all, and rode off into the sunrise. You are now alone at Grayson's cabin in the middle of the woods.
So, point of order, where did the Kestrel go? Did it leave?
The Kestrel seems to be circling overhead as you step outside.
Okay.
Fly away, fly away.
Space Enya.
You see Kara leaning over the side, and you see the ship pulls down quite low, and you see her yell out, "There's a clearing to the north. We're landing there."
Jill gives like a large wave to see from a distance. Just an acknowledgement.
The Kestrel flies off a pretty short distance to the north, only like half a mile, and you see it land.
You reckon that's where that Nyogi ship went down?
I feel like it went down more north than that, because there was a swamp, right? We're not really in the swamp right now.
No, you're right. Swamp's further away. Well, anyway, we should probably start walking.
Yeah.
So what do you guys want to do? You wanted to talk to your family, right, Wynn?
Yeah, I would like to pop in and talk to my family.
Yeah.
Do we have snacks?
Jylliana just sort of reaches into the bag of holding. Always.
Then I will eat.
Okay, what do you want?
I don't know.
Do we have
We've got
chips?
a lot of trail mix. Alviva did pick out all the M&Ms though.
That's peach.
Can I have the raisins?
Oh, gross. Yes.
Excellent. She starts picking out the raisins and eating
Ugh.
them.
Yeah, be happy with those. Yeah, no, more for you. Ugh.
All right, so you wander through the woods for a bit and eventually reach the point where the Kestrel has landed. There's the gangplank down over the side, quite long so that you don't, have to physically climb up it from the ground to the deck. And when you arrive, the captain is waiting, and she greets you and says, "So, that's it then, I suppose?"
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, what now?
I would like to swing by and talk to my family on their farm.
Okay.
I don't know why my accent is changing, Captain, but we all know that this is what happens sometimes.
Your accent
Yeah.
switches over time. I'm used to it.
Well, if we're gonna be there, we gotta pass through Stormhaven to get over there, and
Yeah.
I should probably check in on the temple.
Yeah.
We need to do a small restock, but we'll do most of our restocking in Port Meridian, so you can have a day to get your affairs in order here, and then we can move on. Will that be enough?
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you,
Sounds good.
as in you want to just, hang out, stay frosty here?
I figured we would take you back to Stormhaven so we can land on an actual dock rather than in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, right. I was fully prepared to walk back to town. Oh, that's going to be weird. It's like half a day to get to town, and then flying is going to be so much. Wow.
It'll be about 10 minutes, yes.
Yowza. Sure, it'll be warmer, I guess.
You all ready to go?
Let's do this.
So you board the Kestrel, and Kara zooms it up in the air. So yeah, you eventually head back towards the shore, and finally reach the town of Stormhaven. Hometown to Jill and Wynn, but Artie, you do not know this place. Actually, Artie, have you been here before?
Artie's
Yeah.
been here a
Yeah.
time or two.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was here last time.
Okay then.
But he just kind of wandered.
He named cats.
Artie, you remember there's not really a whole lot to do here. There's Westbrook Curiosities, there's the Inn, the Goat and Weasel, and there's the Temple of Ethla. And that's about it. It's not very exciting, but there is a frozen lake.
Huh. That's weird.
This would be a time when we normally go ice skating.
Ugh. I could really go for ice skating.
What is that food? Is it...
No, it's,
You put, blades on your shoes, and then you use those... Have you ever been roller
Lights
skating?
on your... What?
that's when you put wheels on your shoes and you kind of go around, but
Why are
skating
you
is when you do it on the ice.
wheels
Yeah.
on your shoe? Just get the cart.
You glide.
Lachlan
Yeah.
is looking at you all with extreme interest. I have never heard of ice skates or roller skates. What is this?
It's just fun.
My family has a bunch, so when we go visit them, we can go to the lake near the farm and try it out if you guys want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what the people on the lake we flew over were doing too? I
Yeah,
thought they were
yeah,
ice
yeah.
fishing, but they were
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
when they're going sort of in that circle, and sometimes people spin around and stuff. It's really fun, actually.
Huh.
What have you never?
I-
Wait. Have you not done Have you not Have you not had winter before?
Well, we have winter, but it's more of the wet season and the dry season in the swamps.
Oh, so you've never done snow before?
I mean, I've seen it, I've touched it, but not a lot. I don't like snow. And you'll notice that he does, in fact, look a little more of a pale green than you're used to with his clothes all bundled up. He also seems to have done a barkskin spell over only his feet.
Jylliana just gets this kind of grin just spreading across her face. Oh, I need to see you deal with snow. No, you should come along.
But I'll have to wear shoes.
I mean, are you willing to make that sacrifice?
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice!
Fine. I'll wear shoes. Fine.
Yay! Wait, why are we sacrificing Lachlan to shoes?
Because otherwise he'll get frostbite. That's where your toes fall off and die.
Yeah. My skin's, like, thicker than yours, but it's not that thick. I probably would get frostbite.
Yeah, boots would be good.
Okay, fine.
You don't have to come.
No, it's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You say all this as the ship is going through its landing procedures, and then it finally splashes into the water. It breaks a few small chunks of ice that are floating in the ocean and pulls up to the dock. And the captain gets the crew together and says, all right, the day is yours. We will meet back here, I want to say tomorrow mid-morning.
Okay. Do you need to resupply here? Because we could introduce you to Ariadne. She runs like the biggest shop in town.
That won't be necessary. We have enough supplies to get to Port Meridian. I'll do a proper resupply with my normal people there.
Fair enough.
For now, though, and she looks at Mr. Hurst, who nods, and Mr. Hurst says, for now, we're going to the tavern.
Have fun!
Fair enough.
They
It sounds
stomp
like
off.
a little boy now.
Yeah.
He's a little lad who loves berries and cream. Has Mr. Hurst ever greeted his father with Papa?
Papa!
Papa!
Are you saying this aloud?
No, this is me, the person.
I guess you'll have to ask him.
Papa! Oh no, Papa, I've fallen into this big tub of lard!
Oh no, not again. No more Papa.
It's very good. For now, Hurst and the captain wander off to the Goat and Weasel while the other crew mess around with the rigging and tidy things up. So, who wants to do what?
Well, okay, if we've only got like a day, maybe... it takes like, what, half a day just to get out to your farm?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. And what time of day is it, Anna?
It's pretty early morning. It's like 7 o'clock.
Okay, well...
You figure the captain and Hurst are not there to drink, but to get food.
Okay, your parents would definitely make us stay for dinner.
Yes, they will.
Then I might
My
want
mother
to
will also
actually-
insistently give us food as soon as we walk in the door, even before she makes us stay for dinner.
Right, no, of course. Yeah, no, that does account, like... That does sound like that whirlwind that I experienced last time. Your parents are great, but I might actually need to stay here if I want to spend any time at the temple, because I have a lot to talk about with Mother Sylvia.
Okay.
I'll go with you in.
Okay.
I mean, would you, unless you want some emotional support for this? I don't know what you need here.
I'll be okay. I will snuggle Artie.
Sweet.
Artie, are you up for this responsibility?
I'm going to eat so much pie.
Excellent.
There will be at least 3 pies, I can assure you that.
Yeah, you'll probably get a chess pie.
You better be careful. I'm going to steal your parents.
They're open to that, I think.
They might adopt you.
Yeah.
I did not say adopt.
I mean, they're open to both. Honestly, if my siblings are around, one of my siblings might adopt you.
Something Jyllian's mum?
Jyllian's mom has got it going on.
Yeah, so Wynn nods to Jill and heads off with Artie to walk the way.
All right, take care.
Take care as well.
You two set off. Before you go, Lachlan catches you both run out quick and he says, if you want, we could probably swing by and pick you up in the morning.
Who is that?
Lachlan.
Oh, okay. He sounded breathier. He sounded like Mr. Hurst.
He's out of breath from running through the snow.
No, Mr. Hurst is a little boy.
Oh, you're right. He's a small child.
Yes, right. Yes, this is my voice.
You can find us. Our farm's pretty big. It's I'll fly a flag on top of it. How's that?
You could make a mud map or a snow map, as it were. I'll remember.
Yeah, I can do that. She then leans over and starts drawing a little map to show how to get to our family's house.
Lachlan pulls out his he pulls out his pen and paper and copies it down. Well, his pencil and paper and copies it into his notebook and says, "All right, I'll make sure we come get you in the morning."
Thank you.
All right, enjoy your family reunion.
I will do my best.
And he pops the notebook and thing away and returns to Jill and says, now, I understand if you want to spend some time alone with your goddess, but I'm actually really curious to see your temple.
Oh, really?
I'd like that, yeah. I mean, it matters to you, right?
Yeah. She's kind of squinting at him suspiciously.
What? I just want to get to see what's important to my girlfriend.
No, shut up.
Oh, you're so cute
when
you do that.
This isn't a bit, though?
That's a lot of effort to go to for a bit.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not usually used to people I'm not usually used to encountering people who, like, are actively interested in religion?
Oh. Well, I mean, I'm a druid. Religion is of interest to me.
Oh, you're a religious druid. Huh. Okay.
Kind of. It's like a ethno-religion, you might say. It's a clan thing.
Culture, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, you might be kind of bored. I mean, I can definitely show you around town, but
you could make assumptions or you could just show me.
Okay, what I mean is, I can show you around town and stuff, but you might get a little bored because I'm probably gonna need to talk to Mother Sylvia about a couple of things in private while I'm there too. Oh. If you can, entertain yourself or something, I don't know.
That's fine.
Okay. She kind of looks at him again. We're probably gonna need to get you a coat, though.
I am freezing.
Yeah, you've got like a light hoodie and that's kind of it, huh? Like that's the heaviest thing I've ever seen you wear.
Yeah, is this normal, having to wear this much clothing?
I mean, it's...
I don't like it.
I mean, it's winter, so it does get cold.
Fine, let's go get a coat.
Okay.
And
his nipples are chapped.
Now, would you all like to do the Petrus family first, or the Jill and Lachlan thing first?
Makes sense to me if it's Jill and Lachlan first, because they're going to be able to do this sooner while Artie and I are walking.
That's true. And then we can cut back to you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, tell me where you take Lachlan.
Gosh, I mean, there is probably, like, a merchant... I'm gonna say there's probably like one or two merchants that specifically do clothing in town, but she will probably just pop over Westbrook Curiosities simply because Ariadne just... One assumes she is buying more and more storefronts and selling more and more shit. Like,
you could probably
she's
so.
opening her own little fucking mini-mart.
All right, well, you wander through the town over there, and lo and behold, she actually does have another storefront across the street this time.
Oh my god.
It's not directly across, it's like a couple buildings down, but the Westbrook Curiosity sign does hang over the door there as well.
She's gonna start calling this Westmart soon enough.
And there's some strings of pennants hanging like across between the buildings.
Wow. Man, business is good for her.
Through the windows of the new storefront, you see a figure which you think was probably Miss Kitty.
Oh, the best thing. Lachlan, have you seen Miss Kitty?
What, is she like a cat?
No! And she's going to lead him into the storefront where it looks like Miss Kitty is.
As you step inside, the warmth hits you, and Lachlan just closes his eyes and basks in it for a moment. Then he opens them, looks at Miss Kitty, the mechanical octopus, and goes, "Oh!
Yeah!
Oh, okay. Hello, Miss Kitty," and Miss Kitty ignores him.
Jylliana will in fact go over and greet Miss Kitty as though Miss Kitty would not only know who she is, but also remember her.
Miss Kitty turns the head part of the octopus to look at Jill, so one of the big eyes is facing you. The hands do not stop moving, but one of the arms reaches out and kind of gently brushes it over your face and then goes back to what you're doing.
Awesome. Okay. Are there any coats in here?
Yes. Oh, do you say that aloud too, Miss Kitty?
She probably says it as she probably says it out loud, not necessarily to Miss Kitty, but in Miss Kitty's area, she's just sort of turning around to, like, she was entirely focused on Miss Kitty, so now she's actually turning around to look at the rest of the store.
An arm goes past your head and points to a rack of clothing in a back corner somewhere.
Ooh, dope. There we go.
Miss Kitty is not looking at you. It's just, if she'd been any closer to your head, she probably would have accidentally, bonked you.
It's fine. She's definitely my best friend. Jill gestures for Lachlan to follow her and heads towards the back of the store, checks out the coat racks.
Indeed. You find Ariadne and you purchase a couple of... Lachlan insists on a couple of coats as well as a fine pair of boots. He can afford them pretty easily.
Jill probably does make small talk with Ariadne, just, like, asks how she's doing, how the last couple of months have been for her. Did that, egg that we brought her from Castle Kronos ever hatch?
Ariadne, does lead you to a back room, Jill, where there is what seems to be some kind of incubator for the egg.
Ooh! Takes a while, then.
Indeed it does.
Nice.
Alright. Once Lachlan is be-coated and be-shod, just shod, actually. Coated and shod.
Just regular shod.
Yeah, not be-shod. You make your way back out into the snow, and he looks a bit less frosty. I think he also picked up some gloves and a scarf and a hat while he was there too.
Oh yeah, he's completely bundled up.
All you can really see are his eyes.
Okay, I said a coat, but this is a lot. How you feeling?
Sorry, he pulls the scarf away from his mouth. It's not so bad now. I'm not
Great.
as frozen.
Great. I'm very happy for you. Now, come on, Temple's this way, and I can just kind of point out the, I don't know, highlights of the town while we're here, while we're on our way over.
Let's go. Show me your world.
Oh boy.
Literally.
Okay.
I
Literally.
can show you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid.
Okay. Well, that's where the market usually is. On the warm days. It doesn't really run so much in winter because we don't get a whole lot of trade through town because, it's fucking cold.
That it is.
But they'll usually set up like kind of, just some hot booths. You've got like you got some candied nuts, you've got like some hot drinks and stuff. Maybe a couple little like carnival games sometimes, especially like
games.
This place is gorgeous during the Birthinox.
Like what kind of games do you play at a market?
No, I mean, a couple of like carnival things. Like you always got a couple of carnies with crooked games, especially down by a pier.
Huh.
Then there's, well, sometimes they'll host like little competitions, like snowman building competitions or something.
Okay. All right. I've never built a snowman before.
I'm so tempted to ask you in song.
want to build
We
a
can't
shrine.
keep doing this, guys. The mouse is gonna get us.
The mouse doesn't give a shit about us.
It's
We're
true.
nobody. You can sing if you want to.
No, that song's annoying. So, yeah, I mean, well, maybe after finish up at the temple, we could go over there? Kind of a date?
I'd like that. Yeah. Have an actual shore date instead of, on the deck on the hull of the ship.
Right. Okay, well, and she'll point out a couple of little, like, locations of interest as they're going around, just like some stuff that, like, maybe some stories about, like, shit that she got up to while she was in Stormhaven, because she lived there for, like, 2 years or so before, the campaign started.
Yep.
And then she will come up to the temple.
Okay. So, the temple, well, it looks good. It seems to have had all its damage repaired. And Lachlan looks it up and down and says, I don't recognize this. I didn't expect to.
What?
I see what they mean by it was a small religion. Wait, no, sorry, I didn't mean that. It's interesting.
What does interesting mean?
He looks for the right word and he says, it's charming. It feels...
Her eyebrows lift.
It's not like it's trying to pretend to be something it isn't.
It's
I like that.
quaint.
Oh, it's charming.
Yeah? Is something wrong? Do you think I'm having a go at you?
I think you're really trying to talk around being unimpressed and trying to be, like, overly nice about it.
No. And he has a very matter-of-fact look on his face. No, I mean it. I think it looks like the kind of place where you could be yourself, rather than having to posture compared to some of the temples I've seen in Shan, which were all just pomp and ceremony. This place looks...
Big, like, marble buildings or something, or...
Marble, gold, all that stuff.
Oh.
The crowds of people, the priests who are just about as rich as any of the richest patrons there, Sorry, parishioners, not patrons, although it feels like it sometimes.
No,
Look,
it's...
I come from the country, I come from the swamp, I'm not... Posturing doesn't suit me, and I like that this place doesn't posture, from the looks of it.
No, it's mostly wood. We got some statues here and there, some carvings of, like, saints, but I think the fanciest we get is maybe some bronze filigree here and there.
Can we go inside? It's a bit cold.
Yeah, sure. So she'll push open the doors and enter.
You make your way inside the temple. Once you're inside, you see a couple of acolytes in the... there's a word for the place.
Vestibule?
The vestibule. Yeah, you see a couple of acolytes in the vestibule, and they're like, "Oh, Jylliana, hi."
It's been a while.
This is Tamarinth, a dwarf, and Altessa, a human. You know them.
Yeah. Hi. Hey, how are you guys?
Oh, we're good, but we haven't seen you in forever. Where have you been? They said you went to, and they look around conspiratorially, space?
Oh. Yeah. Space.
Altessa is looking at you in awe while you say that, while Tamarinth is looking Lachlan up and down, and she's like, "And who is this?"
Oh, right. Sorry. Lachlan, these are some of my sisters. Well, I mean, like related sisters. We're not related by blood. It's fine. This is Tamarinth.
It's
this
all right,
is
babe.
Altessa.
Babe? He called you babe?
He's kind of my boyfriend.
And both of them, they cup their hands over their mouth like, Altessa leans down to whisper in Tamarinth's ear, and she nods and she says, "Have you two, like..." And they just look at you expectantly, waiting for you to mentally fill out the rest of it in your hands.
Jylliana has gone blank and wide-eyed. Like this is panic. This is completely uncharted territory.
Lachlan steps in and puts an arm around you and says, Jylliana was just showing me around the temple, because I've never been here before. Would you be willing to help us with that? And Altessa's like, oh, right, yes, sorry.
Yeah, also, is Mother Sylvia around today, or?
She's busy at the moment, but I don't know, she might be busy. She might be free pretty soon. I can tell you're here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I know she was busy with someone who came in, so take your time, look around, I'll get that sorted, and Altessa runs off. Tamarinth gives you a wry grin, Jill, and says, you two have fun, and goes back to whatever she was doing before, probably dusting the place.
Thanks, Tam. She is blushing furiously and just, okay, let's go.
Lachlan's like, sisters. They're just there to give you hell.
I guess? I don't know.
Oh, well, these ones, they might not be blood sisters, but they sure seem like they are, trouble.
I
He has a grin.
I don't know. I wasn't very good at socializing when I lived here full time.
Well, how about you tell me about this place then for now? What do you do here in the temple?
Well, I mean, we just kind of, I mean, we do Shelmuth stuff. It's a lot of healing,
Shelmuth?
Oh, Shelmuth. It's, right, that's the sect that this temple is. We worship Ethel the Shield Mother as opposed to some of the other sects. So we're Shelmuths.
Okay.
We tend to focus more...
Oh, sorry, continue.
We tend to focus more on, community. There's a lot of martial training. We're kind of the, clerics, action, rough and tumble. We kind of get into shit a little bit more than some of the other types of clerics.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just stuff.
Okay.
I'm bad at
Well,
this.
I'm curious. What are some of the other sects?
Well, there's the Hearthabites. They worship Ethla's aspect as a hearth goddess. She's the hearth that bites.
I see the name. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the name just kind of came second after the aspect. People just kind of got tired of saying the whole thing all the time. There's
like
the
Shield Mother Shelmuth. Yep, right.
Yeah, there's Ethel the Quenching Rain. Those are the Quents. They're usually healers. There's Ethla the Fulminate Fury. They're kind of warrior monks. They're more of like the fire and lightning aspect. That tends to be where you get more of Ethla's domain as like a war goddess. There's the Almuths. Nobody really likes them, but there's some of them.
Okay.
They have this thing where they consider all other gods in pantheons to be just different aspects of Ethla, so everybody's secretly monotheistic. They're not very popular.
Oh, right. Yeah, I can see the issue there.
Yeah, so, there's different Ethlins. It's, Ethla doesn't really talk to us, and we lost a lot of the senior members of the faith a long time ago, and everything's just kind of crumbling, and so people just kind of disagreed about what Ethla is.
Right. I think I understand. So, you mentioned wanting to come here and commune. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, you said you kind of have a religion thing going on. What does that mean for you?
I suppose for me it would be going out into the swamp and being one with nature for a while.
Well, it's...
Or once I change things up, going out into the city and connecting to the roots of that.
Well, it's sort of like that, I guess. I don't really know what a root of the city is, but it's prayer, it's meditation, it's reaching out and feeling the presence of Ethla and hopefully getting something back, but...
Okay.
turns out with everybody else, it's usually like you can actually just talk to a god on the reg, so that's something, and...
I don't really understand why you need to go through all these extra hoops just to feel your goddess, but who am I to judge?
Well, it's not really an extra hoop, I mean, if I lived here every day like I used to, it would just be an everyday thing. This is Ethel's domain. This is her sphere. This is her seat of power. So it's kind of harder away from home.
I see.
Anyway,
well, don't let me stop you.
Yeah, if you don't mind, if you, I don't know, if you want to pay your respects somehow, there's usually just sort of, prayer or I don't know. And she's just going to like fumble with a stick of incense, light it, set it in sort of the major altar, and just sort of go down on her knees and close her eyes and commune.
You wander into the main section of the church and you do that. Lachlan takes a seat nearby. He doesn't say anything, but he sits and watches respectfully.
Yeah.
So tell me what happens when Jill communes.
Usually it's a sense of presence. It's a bit like settling into a warm bath. It's sort of an all-over thing.
And what is it like now?
I don't know. What is it like now? I don't know.
Okay. It is, at first, well, you've been reaching out to Ethla through the distance of space for a very long time now, or what feels like forever. It's like you have to, if you're opening a door, it's like you have to wrench it and brace your foot against it and twist the handle and practically rip the doorknob off just to get it open. Here, you prepare to wrench, and then you touch the door and it is already open and it's there, and Ethla is there, and Ethla is in you and everywhere. And it is effortless and fills you with no strain at all.
Lachlan can probably see Jylliana's shoulders just like visibly relax and release some tension.
Just practically glowing. Maybe not literally glowing, or maybe literally glowing, do you think?
No.
No? Okay.
I think Jill is I think she approaches it with a feeling of hesitance. Because it's been a long time, and she's been through some shit, and there's shit with, like, lots of other gods, especially one demon prince.
Well, you might feel hesitance, but the sense of Ethla does not. You just feel straight-up acceptance. No hesitation. Nothing to suggest any kind of reluctance.
So she's not disappointed in me.
Not that you can feel.
Whew. Okay, then Jill probably just sort of sits like that for, I don't know, it probably ends up being something like 10 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
Just really soaking it up before she just sort of like comes out of it and stretches a little.
You look around and you see Lachlan examining a statue of a saint on the side of the room. He's reading an inscription at the base of it.
She'll just sort of pace over to him and come up beside him, probably just like reach out, touch his arm or something, just as a like, hello, I am here.
Mm-hmm. He turns and says, "Oh, hey, babe, how'd it go?"
Good. Yeah, it was good.
Oh, that's fantastic. You look better. You look more happy.
Yeah, it's a lot to not be... The separation is hard.
I can imagine, yeah.
Hey, do you want a tour?
I'd love a tour, yeah. Let's go.
Right, so she'll just sort of take him around, point out some saints along the way. They're usually like, just various figures from Ethlenism.
He actually asks a few questions, the kind of thing about the history of them, or who they were, or what they did, these saints. Like the kind of questions someone who's genuinely interested would ask.
Cool. Jylliana's a nerd, so she probably does know a lot of these things, or at least the basics.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll probably, like, answer his questions, talk about a few things that some of these saints are said to have done. She'll lead him through some of the, like, the herb gardens, the down towards, like, the sort of study areas. She'll probably take him out into the training yard last.
Out in the training yard, you see rows of acolytes with maces and shields practicing forms. And one of them turns to you, Jill, and you recognize her. Her name's Lissa. She's a human. And she's quite young, but she was there last time you were here, and she says, "Oh, I remember you. You were here at the battle."
Oh, yeah. That was me. Hi.
Hi. I don't know if you remember me. I'm Lissa. I thought you fought very well.
Oh,
She looks a little sheepish.
That Jill is equally sheepish. Oh, thanks.
Are you busy? Would you like to spar with us?
Oh, And she kind of, like, looks around and, like, mentally calculates what everybody's class levels probably are.
They probably have a CR of maybe a quarter.
That might not be a... That's really nice, thank you, but that might not be a great idea. I might accidentally badly injure someone.
Lissa looks crestfallen, absolutely heartbroken. She's like, "Oh, that's okay.
Do you want to show me what you're working on, though?
Yeah." And she brightens up immensely. And she gets a training partner with her, and she demonstrates a form she's doing. She's passable. She seems to be, like, at the absolute foundations of these mace forms, but you know, it's not too bad. She needs a little adjustment with her footwork, though.
Yeah, I think Jylliana's like, actually, can I, do you want some, advice?
Please.
Sure. Okay, so, like, you're doing all right, but you might need to actually adjust, like, you need to move where you're kind of putting your weight on that swing, so you're really getting, like, the momentum carried through when you actually do the full arc, like, oh, here, she'll lead her over to a free training dummy.
All right.
And, Jill will just sort of, like, get out her hammer and just sort of, like, adopt the stance and just sort of, like, talk through what she's doing and how she's, like, positioning herself and be like, okay, and then you want to make sure you're shifting your weight and swing, and then she does, like, kind of a slow one a couple of times, like, now watch how I'm, like, you need to make sure to, you know, you're moving mostly with the back of your arm. It's not that much of an elbow extension. And then she does kind of a few practice ones, and then once you've really got it down, it will be a lot like this, and she actually does a full hit on the training dummy.
Lightning arcs out of the hammer and evaporates the dummy in a cloud of wood and straw. It splinters and shatters and explodes out backwards.
Oops.
And every single acolyte turns and looks at you with their mouths open. And Lissa says, "Oh, that's what you meant."
Sorry.
Lachlan actually comes up behind you, Jill, and says, "Babe, if you want someone to demonstrate things on, I mean, I could help."
Oh, yeah, would you mind, actually?
Lissa looks at Lachlan with wide eyes at the word babe, but doesn't say anything. And Lachlan says, all right, let's go. Okay, we got a ring over here. What do you want to demonstrate? Lissa says, "You've got some magic, haven't you? Like, real magic."
Oh, it's real magic. I mean, it's totally within the bounds of... Okay,
you know
sort of
what
beyond
I
the bounds.
mean, sister. You know what I mean.
Jylliana probably, like, looks around at this small crowd that is gathered and is like, okay, what are we working on? What's, like, the highest level that anybody's got, like, in terms of, like, spell capability? What's the most complex thing you can do?
I can cast a guiding bolt, yells someone.
Okay, good. Guiding bolt. Anybody else?
I've got I've got aid.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a second level. All right.
That's about it. She's top of our class.
Okay. Then tell you what, who wants a demo?
And then every hand just shoots straight up.
Okay.
These little fresh-faced acolytes. There's about 10 or so of them, and they all look extremely excited. There's not a single one of them who's over 25.
Jylliana's deeply intimidated. Great, because Jill's only 24.
I'll rephrase that. Most of them look under 20.
Great. Okay, teens.
Yeah, they're babies.
They're babies. Okay. Jylliana's trying not to be deeply intimidated by the teens.
All right. Lachlan jumps over the rail of the ring effortlessly, the wooden rail, and shrugs off his coat, and his bare arms are out, and all the acolytes just kind of lean in a bit.
All of them? They're all into men? No way.
None of them see men. Like, not like this. So whether or not they're into men, they're still like, what is this?
Fair enough. Okay, Jill will probably, similarly, take off a couple of outer layers just to be a bit more limber. Okay.
He draws his scimitar, and he doesn't have his shield on him, but he says, all right, let's go.
Jill, one sec, Jill does up her hair. This is the kick-ass ponytail.
Lachlan's eyes glaze over a little with delight. He thinks she's very hot.
Jill turns to the crowd and is like, okay, so everybody's familiar with some basic martial forms. We've got a couple of we've got a 1 or 2 first levels, a second level caster over here. That's about the spread that we're working with.
They kind of look amongst each other and just nod.
Okay. So what you just saw is I need to look up what that fucking thing is called, because all of the Tempest cleric abilities sound the same.
Yes, they do.
What you just saw was a divine strike for Tempest clerics like us. That means that we are able to channel thunder damage into our weapon attacks. So you get a little bit of extra oomph there. It usually doesn't totally eviscerate training dummies. Usually it just gives an extra jolt to somebody. Like, Lachlan here is a high-level druid. He is able to withstand this shit. Do not try this at home.
He puts his arms out and says, hit me.
Alright, she'll go in for a swing.
Don't worry about rolling to hit. Just tell me what you do, and we'll basically say, I do this, I do that. It's not a real fight. We're not resisting.
So what Jill's basically doing is she's going to be doing a thing where she does an attack. She'll do a divine strike with the thunder damage on there first. And that'll be the first thing she does, but it's also like she does a hit and then she immediately backs off.
Yeah, sure. He does manage to catch the hammer on his scimitar and deflect it, but everyone can see that his hand shakes and the air booms a bit with the thunder damage.
Okay, good. So, one of the other things that you can do once you're able to start doing these things is, so we've got some people who actually have a class level. We know about Wrath of the Storm, yes? Are we familiar with that?
Yeah, a few years come up.
Okay, so what happens with Wrath of the Storm is that once you get to a certain level of ability, you are able to start pushing people back when you do lightning damage to them. Wrath of the Storm can do lightning or thunder. You get to choose that when you're channeling the reaction. And what you can do is, if you're doing lightning damage, you can also push them away from you. So they attack, you rebuke, and then you push. So, Lachlan, come at me.
All right. He swings his scimitar as he gets a bit of a wind up and he swings pretty hard. I imagine you let him hit your armor, and then he just jolts with electricity and goes flying back.
Yeah, it's a 10-foot push.
So he gets launched backwards and he lands in the snow.
All right,
and he gets up.
You all right, babe?
Oh, I'm great. Let's go.
All right.
Do you want to show them a real fight? Do you want to show them something a bit more intense?
Yeah, sure. Give me 1 second, though. And Jill will basically just, turn back to the crowd and talk them through, a mass healing word.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll probably give a bit of like kind of a technical lecture a bit on like how the like some of the somatic differences are between a regular healing word and a mass healing word, and some of the other stuff that she's worked out about like the actual like mechanics of the spell work that that would be based off some of the stuff that they actually have in there that they've actually studied.
Mm-hmm.
And so she'll do that, and then she'll be like, okay, back up, and all right,
Real fight?
real fight.
Okay.
She'll turn back to the audience like, all right, y'all might want to back up a little. This might get a little dicey.
They do back up.
Okay. And she kind of pops her neck.
When you turn back to Lachlan, he gets down on all fours and starts to change shape like an animorph, and he turns into a crocodile.
Oh, shit.
And he just goes straight for you, mouth open.
Okay, while he is approaching, Jill probably shoots off like a guiding bolt or something, and then puts up her buckler as he gets in to try and catch his mouth on her shield.
Yep, the guiding bolt does hit him, and he wrestles with you for a bit. How do you counterattack him?
It is probably actually another... Yeah, this would technically be another turn if we're thinking about it that way. So this would probably be a point where she does, like, if he lands a hit, then there is, like, she's able to do another Wrath of the Storm, and then push him back.
He goes flying out, and no longer in his crocodile form, because you smoked that. But this time he lands kind of back on his feet, like one of those reverse somersaults, very anime, and charges you with his scimitar.
Okay.
Imagine there's some pretty frantic fighting back and forth with that.
Yeah, at some point she does end up popping the wings.
Mm-hmm. He can't really land a good hit on you. You're actually a better martial fighter than him. And eventually, he backs up a bit, spits, throws down his scimitar, and roars at you. And his eyes change. They actually go from blue to red.
Ooh.
And out of his fists, not his fists, but like his fingertips, extend these long cat-like claws that were, you know how it's like retracted claws, but they're just in his fingertips.
Yeah.
And they seem to drip with acid, and you, I'll just say, you recognize this as the Primal Savagery cantrip, and he charges you, and I think he actually pushes Jill to the ground with that, like, going full feral mode on her.
Shit, okay. So does he get some hits on with the claws there?
He very nearly does. He's got one claw raised, and then you hear a voice call out, "That's enough!" And it is, in fact, Mother Sylvia. And Lachlan freezes with his hand up in the air, and immediately retracts the claws back in and gets back off and helps you up and says, Babe, are you okay? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm cool. That was interesting. I'm cool. How are you?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lose it there on you.
Fan self a little bit.
Yeah. Oh. It's fine. Actually, that's actually totally fine.
Are you sure?
We should probably talk about that later. Hello, Mother.
Jylliana, hello. Welcome.
Hi. Sorry. I was just they kind of wanted some demonstration. And
you look over at the acolytes, and they kind of look away from you, pretending they weren't staring, and get back to their forms. And Mother Sylvia says, "Yes, I can see that. And you and this gentleman here."
Hi. Yes. Right. Yeah. Everything's fine. And that's probably the point where her wings sort of like give out. So her eyes stop glowing, and her wings just kind of like snap up, fold, and then disappear. Right. Yes.
I see.
Hi, yes, this is Lachlan. Lachlan, this is Mother Sylvia.
Hello, Mother Sylvia. Hello, Lachlan. She's quite short and looks up at him. She says, "I take it you know Jylliana here?" And Lachlan says, yeah, we are dating." Looking at Jill as if to say, "That's okay, right? That's allowed?"
Yes, yeah. No, Mother, I told you about my crew. And he is one of them, and also my boyfriend.
I see. She does not raise an eyebrow, but the corner of her mouth quirks up and says, Altara said you wanted to talk. Shall we go to my office?
Yeah, right, yeah, no, that's good. Lachlan, do you mind?
Oh, yeah, do you want me with you or do you want me out?
I don't want you, you know, I can meet you somewhere, if you want.
He's pulling his coat back on and says, I mean, I'm getting pretty hungry. I could go down to the tavern, get something to eat, meet you there.
Yeah, I'll meet you there.
All right. Well, see you, babe. And he leans in and gives her a quick kiss, seemingly relishing doing it in front of the clergy, and then gives Mother Sylvia a small bow and leaves.
Bye.
Gem Jammer is performed by Annie Creighton, Anna Emmeline, Mackenzie Weaver, and Rio Rios, and is edited by Jake Mason. Our character designs are by Rio Rios, who can be found at vriosart on Twitter, and our cover art is by Canary Witch, who can be found at doodlesfromthebird.tumblr.com. Our opening and closing music is by Reckoning Storm AudioWorks, and our background music includes tracks by Tabletop RPG Music. Check out our website at crookedrussiancam.horse or .gay for exclusive extras such as Jylliana's private diary, Anna's homebrew stuff, and other goodies from our other shows. Our Patreon has it all for only $1 a month at patreon.com/thegemjam. Thank you very much for listening, stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.
Oh, Papa, I'm such a fat little hippo boy! I can't run very fast, Papa!
It's like one of those adipose monsters from Tennant's Doctor Who. So stupid.
Sorry, I've just tickled myself.